Hey everyone, what's up? Ben from SnowBoardGamer. I'm here with you to go over today the top games that we played in January of 2018. This is a new segment that I'll be doing the first Monday of every month, and I'll be going over the top games that we played the previous month. And I'm not saying top 5 or top 10, because each month's a little different where you draw the line. What I did this time is I broke it into two groups. When I did my summary video of our top 10 games that we played last year, some of them in the top 10 were games that play in 5 minutes, like Werewords. So what I'm going to do with this monthly segment is do two different lists. The first one will be based on playtime. So if you look up a game and it says it plays in 60 minutes, it'll be an hour of playtime. And so that makes sure that some of the heavier games that maybe only have a few plays but take longer to play don't get filtered out and lost. Then what I'll do is pure play count, which will help some of the shorter games that are 5, 10 minutes long, 15 minutes, to make their way into the list also, so you can kind of get a mix of both types of games, the longer, heavier ones and the shorter, lighter ones. January ended and I'm on a business trip, so I'm filming this and we'll have it posted the first Monday in February. Now for the top 5 games based on playtime. Number 5, Dice Forge. Dice Forge came out in 2017, is for 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, and plays in about 40 minutes. In Dice Forge, each person has 2 dice, and throughout the game you roll the dice, you collect resources, you use those resources to buy new faces for the dice, which you pop them off, snap them on, improving your chances of getting good dice rolls. You can also use the resources to buy cards, which do various things like give you extra rerolls for the dice or just straight up victory points. Great family weight game, plays in less than an hour. Highly recommend Dice Forge. We've really enjoyed it in January. Number 4 is Terraforming Mars. Terraforming Mars came out in 2016, is for 1 to 5 players, ages 12 and up, and plays in 2 hours. This is a heavier game. This is one of my favorite games. It is very scientific. Each person represents a corporation racing to terraform Mars. Throughout the game, you play these cards that raise 3 global parameters, and then the game's over. Once you've raised temperature, built plants to provide oxygen, and deployed enough water tiles to Mars. I just love how this game plays, and every time we play it, it doesn't even seem like 2 hours. It's a little bit of a beast to learn, so the first time or two, it's going to take you probably 3 or 4 hours to play it. But once you settle down and you know the game, you can totally play in 2 hours or less. Number 3, Twilight Struggle. This game came out in 2005, is for 2 players only, ages 13 and up, and plays in 2 to 3 hours. This is also a longer one. I like to describe this as a game of chess with a Cold War theme. The map of Twilight Struggle is world with all these different countries, and you might think, oh, this is like Risk. Not really. There's no battle aspect to it. You're spreading influence of either capitalism or communism throughout the world. One person plays as the US, one person plays as USSR. All of the cards are actual events from the Cold War, which is really cool. It's very historical, and I love that about that game. Number 2, Secret Hitler. This is our top play game of 2017. We continued to play it in January. Secret Hitler came out in 2016. It is for 5 to 10 players, ages 17 and up, but the community agrees that it's really probably for about 13 to 14-year-olds and up. There's nothing controversial as far as, it's not like Cards Against Humanity level adult type. I think they rated it 17 and up because of the Hitler theme. It plays in 45 minutes. In Secret Hitler, you divide into 2 teams, the liberals and the fascists, and the fascists are trying to take over and install Hitler as their leader. One person is Hitler. And the liberals are trying to prevent that from happening. Try and figure out through all the deceit and the lies who the fascists are, and do not put them into power, and implement liberal policies and prevent the takeover of the fascists. Our favorite social game, it's just a blast to play. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. Our number 1 game played in January 2018 was Clank, a deck building adventure. Clank came out in 2016. It's for 1 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, and plays in 30 to 60 minutes. This game combines deck building with a board. Deck building is where you start with the same 10 cards, and then throughout the game you purchase cards and put them in your discard pile. They eventually get shuffled in, so you're slowly building your deck over time. Instead of just buying other cards like some of the other deck building games like Dominion, when you play a card, not only do you have purchase power on the cards, you also have the ability to move your character around the board. And you're trying to collect artifacts, get gold, fight monsters. I got Clank for Christmas, and we've just been playing it a lot in January. Now, for the second list, I drew the line at number 7. All of these games had 3 plays or more, and some of them are the same from the first list, and some of them are not. So let's start with number 7. With 3 plays is Ice Cool. This won the Children's Board Game of the Year last year. Came out in 2016. For 2 to 4 players, ages 6 and up, and plays in 20 minutes. It's a dexterity game where you're flicking these penguins, and you can try and curve them through doors to collect fish and get points It's just a blast, and adults love it just as much as kids. Number 6, with 3 plays, is Cosmic Run. Cosmic Run came out in 2015, is for 1 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, and plays in about 30 minutes. In Cosmic Run, you're rolling dice and re-rolling them kind of Yahtzee style, but you have a lot of different decisions and options of what to do with the dice, and you're racing to discover these planets and move your little spaceship up the tracker on the planets and not get left behind and end up with negative points. But at the same time, they've got these cards you can purchase, and then you've got this tech tree in front of you where you can move it up if you didn't get the best dice roll, so you never really feel like there's wasted dice. It's a great light game that has a surprising amount of depth for the lightness of it. Cosmic Run's out of print right now, so you can't buy it, but they are reprinting it in a version 2.0, sort of. They're calling it Cosmic Run Regeneration. It's slated to kickstart late February, so look for that over the next few months. I'll let you know once it hits Kickstarter. Number 5, also with 3 plays, is Dice Forge. And I already went over this in the first group of games, so we'll jump right on to number 4, which is Liar's Dice. We had 4 plays of Liar's Dice. Liar's Dice is estimated to have been invented sometime around the year of 1800. There's a version you can buy that says it's 2 to 6 players. That's just probably the number of dice. You could theoretically play it with a lot of people, probably about 5 minutes per person. So if you're playing with 4 people, probably a 20-minute game. It's for ages 8 and up. In Liar's Dice, everyone rolls their dice. You get to peek at what you rolled, but you don't know what anyone else rolled. And you take turns betting on how many dice of a particular number you think there are between all of the players. If I say 2 2s, the next person can say 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, or they can go up to 3 of a kind and say 3 1s or 3 5s. And on your turn, you can either increase the bid or call the previous player out. So it gets to a point where you're like, no way, there aren't that many 3s at the table. Then everyone shows their dice. Whoever's wrong loses 1 die. And this was my first time to play it in January. We played it 4 times. Really, really fun game. Number 3, with 5 plays, is Pass the Pigs. This is a short game, plays in 5 to 10 minutes, I'd say. You're rolling these pigs. It's a push your luck game. You can lock in your points or continue to roll. If you roll the pigs on the sides in a certain position, then you lose all your points for that turn. First one to 100 points wins, and then the next person gets one more chance to try and beat their last score. Pass the Pigs came out in 1977. Been around for 40 years. If you don't have it, go pick it up. It's like $7 or $8 and you can get it at Target. I've seen it there. Number 2 and number 1 were tied for the most number of plays at 7. Secret Hitler got 7 plays, as well as did Clank. Clank is kind of our new crush lately. We've really been playing it a lot. Can't say enough good things about Clank. If you don't have it, go try it out at a board game cafe or go purchase it. It's very good. Now you'll notice on that last list, Terraforming Mars and Twilight Struggle did not make the list. They only had 2 plays, but because they're such long games, they made it into the other list. If you really geek out about statistics, I'll leave you with a few of these. We had a total of 53 plays in January, 22 unique games, 28 different players. I'm excited to play some more games in February and do another update the first Monday of March. Thanks for tuning in. Hope this helped you guys find some good games to play with your friends and family, and I'll see you next time. Bye.